Welcome to a new beginning. We process folk understand that every moment is a new beginning, or at least an opportunity for a new beginning. But most such new beginnings don't have a large effect, even on our individual lives. They're not noticed in the context of history. On the other hand, a few are immensely fruitful. This new beginning does have some historical importance. And there is a chance that it can make a difference, a real, important, salvific difference. Like most new beginnings, this event is also a continuation of a long-established history. Zhihe Wang had discovered the process tradition and come from China to study more about it. His decision was definitely an important new beginning, not only for him, but for China. Until very recently, process thought has been extremely marginal in the United States. But thanks to that new beginning, it has become a significant factor in government and culture in China. One important step in this development in China was Dr. Wang's learning that the Communist Party was preparing to declare the goal to be an ecological civilization. That was certainly an important new beginning, not only for China, but also for world history. Dr. Wang saw this and saw that a great deal would depend on how ecological civilization is understood. He was convinced that it could and should be understood through the lenses of process thought. As a result, his organization, the Institute for the Postmodern Development of China, held in Claremont the first public discussion of ecological civilization. After that, for 13 years, there were annual conferences in Claremont, primarily for Chinese thinkers, on ecological civilization. I think it is not an exaggeration to say that this series of conferences led in Chinese reflection about the meaning of ecological civilization. Obviously, the question of actual policy formation in China had many other dimensions. Just as a comparison of the United States with the ideal of democracy would raise questions about whether the United States is truly a democracy. So also, we who are deeply committed to the goal of ecological civilization hope for much more from China. Yet much has been achieved, and these conferences have played a role. Two changes occurred last year. Because of COVID, there was no conference. Also, the American government, jealous of China's success and angry about the disintegration of its own empire, has identified China as its primary enemy. It is expressing its hostility in propaganda and in military and political policies. China's response has been restrained, but sending its scholars to meetings in America with Americans is no longer a routine that can be taken for granted. Even when COVID ceases to block such events, it has been important to ask for a new beginning, a new way of continuing and expanding reflection about ecological civilization. Dr. Wang has always pictured his work as a bridge between China and the United States. Now that the United States is busy burning political bridges, it is more important than ever to build cultural and philosophical ones. This means, among other things, we want the work toward ecological civilization to involve far more Americans than in the past. Fortunately, technology makes this possible. Meetings on Zoom can involve far more people more easily. And the difficulty of bringing large numbers of Chinese is resolved. We can be together in a great meeting without leaving our homes. It is my hope that while our government replaces bridges with walls, we can replace travel with a new kind of togetherness. I'm hoping that we Americans can begin to catch up to China, first by recognizing that under whatever label the world needs to move toward what the Chinese mean by ecological civilization. What the world desperately needs is the cooperation of its two greatest powers, the United States and China, toward a transformed biosphere. Perhaps, just possibly, this conference will be the beginning of cooperation toward that end. If so, this event may be the beginning of the salvation of the human species.